my people, what's up now? How are they? Welcome back to the channel. Now, this is the preview for Chelsea's game against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Very difficult stadium to go. And we know Crystal Palace now, they are just one of those teams that whenever they see Chelsea, they will just tear eyes. They want to make life very, very difficult for us. I don't know why. Waiting we do Crystal Palace. But yes, they're always like that. Chelsea Crystal Palace games is a London derby. So they are not usually going to like let us have our way whenever we are playing with them. The first leg of this fixture, the reverse fixture, was a goalless draw. I think that was the first game of the season for us, and it ended goalless. Then they had Maguire, they had Eberechieze. I think that was the last game Eberechieze played before he left for Arsenal. But coming into this game now, they don't have any of those players again. The most recent person to leave the Crystal Palace team is Maguire, who joined City. Now, is this a good thing for us? I think so. Where he is their captain, or was their captain, and one of the best defenders in the Premier League. But then he has left for City. But do they have capable people who can actually fill in for him? Yes. Lacroix is a good defender. Chris Richards also is good. And Jefferson Lerma can also play in that position. So, for now, they have that capability in their squad to still replace Maguire. And then there is also this information coming up today that Josh Archempong is a target for Crystal Palace to also be a replacement for Maguire. Either a loan or a permanent sell is still in the books, but no decision has been made yet. Now, do I want Archempong to go for this loan? Yes, for a loan, yes, but I don't want them to sell him. And I want a loan because it gives him that opportunity to play consistently, and that is the only way he can show the Chelsea people that he's capable, that he's ready for the Premier League. Because all these ones they are doing with him at Chelsea, they will start him in a game today, they will not start him tomorrow. Sometimes when they start him, they remove him from the halftime break. It's not going to help his development. So I want a situation where he can go to this Crystal Palace loan and then have the opportunity to play consistently between now and end of the season. Then after the season, he will return back to Chelsea. By that time, he has been able to show us one or two that he can actually face the physical demands of the Premier League, because I feel like part of the issues he has is just the physicality. Sometimes you can see that he gets overwhelmed in games, and it's okay. Everybody does not really develop at the same pace. Some people take their time. So the loan is it should be a good thing for him if it materializes. But until then, let's just keep it aside and face the game we have today. Crystal Palace at home against Chelsea. London derby. Crazy game. Crystal Palace are not really in a good form now. I think in their last 5 games, they have lost 3 and drawn 2. They even got kicked out of the FA Cup by a League 2 team. So it's not like all good for Crystal Palace now. But guess what? Coming up against Chelsea, they can actually see us now and tear eyes. Now where they will begin win games. And they are playing at home. So even with their bad form, we cannot have it at the back of our mind that, wow, Palace are not having a good season currently, or their run of form is not good currently. That means we can go and run over them. They will still give us plenty problem because the quality is still there. Shebi, they just signed Brennan Johnson from Tottenham, I think on January 1st or 3rd. Either 1st or 2nd of January, that was when they announced him. And he's a very good player. Attacking threat, they there. Mateta is still there with them, even though there is rumor of him joining Juventus or Aston Villa and all of that. But for now, he's still a Crystal Palace player, so his threat is still there, and I'm sure they are going to use him against Chelsea tomorrow. And then Ismail Assar is back. He's back from his AFCON duty with Senegal, so he was going to be playing this game for them. Yeremi Pino is also there, a very good attacking midfielder who has really been helping them this season. In their midfield, they have Adam Walton, they have Hughes, they have like Crystal Palace get people who will cause Chelsea problems if we don't take our time in this game. So yes, it's not a game that we are supposed to take lightly. We are going to face this game because, like I've always said, Chelsea needs to start racking up Premier League points now. They really, really need to start gathering points now, because looking at our next 5 games, it looks like games that we can be able to win. So this is the first of those 5 games, and we actually need to do everything to win this game. Our win against Pafos was not really so convincing, even though we got the 3 points and the win, which is the most important thing. But the performance, those guys deployed a low block and we struggled a lot. Crystal Palace, sometimes you cannot even predict what they can bring out to you. There are times you meet them, you see that low block, And there are still times you will come up against them, you see them playing comfortably, coming out, defending and attacking at the same time. But losing their most important defender, McGuehi, I don't know what to expect from their defense line tomorrow. I just don't know. But we'll just see during the game. All I want is for my team to set up in a good way first. Sanchez start this game. Till now, I don't know why he was brought on from the second half in the game against Pafos. I don't know if Jorgensen suffered any injury or not. But that's in the past now. I don't want to know again. Sanchez should be starting this game, obviously. And then the centre back of Wesley Fofana and Chalobah. Now, I'm not sure if Fofana is even going to start this game, considering the fact that he played the game against Pafos from the beginning. But Tosin is not available. Tosin is injured, and I think he should be out for like a month or so. So Fofana might have to start this game again in the central defense with Chalobah. Unless the manager will now decide to start Achimpong from the game. But Fofana should be starting the game with Chalobah. Then Reece James also started the game against Pafos and had to leave from the second half. So he might start from the bench. We might be seeing Malo Gusto and Cucurella as the fullbacks. And then in midfield, Enzo Fernandez and Reece James now, because from every indication, Kopama might not be starting that game. So we can see Enzo Fernandez moving forward as the number 10, Moises Caicedo and Reece James in the midfield, and then Fernandez as the number 10. Then, moving forward again, Garnacho is likely starting from that flank. Till now, even him and Gittins, I don't know who is better. But I still feel like Garnacho offers more of a goal threat than Gittins. At least we've seen him. He can score, like, if it's for chances, Garnacho always shows up in front of chances. But converting sometimes is the problem. So we'll just start him from that left wing and hope that he converts his chances in this game, because I think that is one of the things we need against Crystal Palace. So when you see the chances, convert them. If not, they will cause you problems and they will hurt you when they get their own chances. So Garnacho starting for us there, Joao Pedro as the number 9. Liam Delap was not so impressive against Pafos. Maybe because of the low block they played, he struggled a lot. But Joao Pedro should be starting this game for us as a striker. And then from the other right flank, Pedro Neto, I was very critical of him in the game against Pafos. He was just wasting crosses. I think after the game, a record came out that he had 15 unsuccessful crosses in that game against Pafos. That was so miserable. That was so frustrating. And if the record did not even come out when I started criticizing him in the post-match reaction. Because I saw it, his crossing was so terrible in that game. It is either he's overhitting his crosses or he's not beating the first man. But considering the fact that Estavoa is just coming back from an injury, I still feel like Pedro Neto is a good fit, especially coming up against a left back like Michel. Pedro Neto should at least start the game from the beginning, then maybe from the second half, Estavoa can now come in. But in that midfield, that's where I have my concern. If Kopama is not starting this game, from speculation, they said he has returned to training, but I still doubt his availability for this game because his training was just today, Friday. He just started training today. So I doubt his availability for this game on Sunday. So if Kopama is not starting this game, that our midfield will now have Reece James. Like I said earlier, Reece James and Caicedo. Or maybe Caicedo and Andre Santos if they want to rest Reece James, considering his participation in the game against Pafos. That's now going to have Caicedo and Andre Santos. But preferably, I want Reece James and Caicedo, because of Crystal Palace, they usually like all this physical football sometimes. And Andre Santos is not that physical. So we want Reece James and Caicedo. And then in the absence of Palmer, Enzo Fernandez should move forward as the number 10. This is a team that I feel like they can get the job done. Then the substitutions can now be made. Estavoa can be brought on in the second half. Jamie Gittins can be brought on in the second half, as well as Liam Delap, depending on how the game unfolds. Liam Rosenio, like I said, this is a time where you should start gathering points for us. Crystal Palace is not usually an easy game for Chelsea, like recent fixtures, but we still need to get this win because we need to start gathering these points. Our next 5 games in the Premier League looks like games we are supposed to win comfortably. We have Wolves, we have West Ham inside. I think, who do we have? We have Burnley inside. I don't know their order, but we have Wolves, we have West Ham, we have Burnley. Who else do we have? I can't remember. but they look like teams that we can win comfortably, and we need to start gathering these points. We can't just be losing unnecessary points, especially to these teams that are seen as teams we are supposed to win comfortably. But let's see how the game unfolds. Olivier Glasner has also been there has been speculation about his intentions to leave Crystal Palace as their manager soon. So maybe all of these things can actually affect their game, or this might even be the reason why they've been struggling recently. So let us take this advantage, get the 3 points from this game, and then rest. We also have a very important game against Napoli coming up next week. So we need to get this win, maintain our level of momentum ahead of the game against Napoli. But let's see how it unfolds. Chelsea playing away at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace. Let's go. Thank you.